English cricket, the so-called gentleman's sport,
and Lords itself in 1837. Then and today, the acknowledged home of cricket. Criticism is restrained.
certainly has taken somewhat of a... as players exposed for their racism get the old...
that didn't go as well. And then 5 times another.
And yet, we're still to think that...
This nation is not racist.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
Over the last few weeks, English cricket has come under fire as the claims for racism have taken hold.
Here in Britain, Azim Rafiq, the former Yorkshire cricketer who was the victim of racial harassment and bullying at the club, fought back tears this morning.
And being that this is supposed to be the gentleman's sport, these revelations are somewhat damaging.
We fucked up.
But once again, I say, should we really be surprised by this?
Hell no.
And in this video today, what I kind of want to express here is how racism is somewhat inherent and yet lies dormant in some, not all, but in some white people. So, when the cricketer, in his exchange of words with his colleague, under the guise of banter, they were joking around, messing around, whatever. When the white colleague called him a P word, you know what I mean? This is not news to me.
I was shocked. I was shocked and saddened because I didn't think it still happened.
Let's stop right there. Let's just stop right there for a second.
Why is it that some white people, right, why is it that their default go-to is to use a racial epithet whenever they feel that they've been bested or, let's say, overthrown in whatever the conversation was or whatever the situation is? You know, their default is to eventually use a racial epithet.
No, you call me a black cunt, you little tramp. Didn't you? Didn't you? Hey, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I'm a what?
Ignore.
I'm a that again?
Back to Africa. Listen, the youngins who are doing you little muck, don't you are extremely ignorant, not very intelligent.
And the common theme throughout all of those clips, and there are many more, is that the person causing the offence resulted to using racial language and a racial epithet.
Fucking nigga plastic.
Again?
Back to Africa. Listen, the youngins who are doing you little muck.
And the reason for this, in my humble opinion, is down to what I would say is, how did I put it here? A inherent psychological indoctrination that is still as I'm sure that on any other given day, these very same people, if you were to ask them, are they racist? Their response would be,
the establishment rounding and accusing me of being racist. The British public know I'm not that. I never have been, I never will be.
because most of the time, they are not actively, but passively, I do think that they harbour these certain values, yeah, that stem from...
Slaves arriving from Africa must first be managed as if they were animals. They must be tamed before they can be treated as men.
In which, after multiple generations, I would say that these ideals have become, let's say, bread and butter as a norm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's, what can I say? It's almost like this mindset.
Of course there's something wrong with him. He's a Negro.
Has somewhat crept in, set up residence, yeah, and every now and then puts in an appearance, you know what I mean?
I won't be listening to people of colour because they're no good in positions of power.
To be used as a way of reminding black people and other non-white people, who's the authority here? Yeah? Who's in control here? Remember who you're talking to almost.
A black man's place is under a white man.
And for me, you shouldn't revert to using a racial epithet in a dispute if you're not that way inclined.
Get out! You fucking little black bitch, I'll kill you.
So I ask now, can we really say that Britain isn't inherently racist?
The implication being that this country is inherently racist.
And if you're thinking that I'm claiming or projecting this notion that all white Britons are racist,
I'm sick of commentators peddling the notion that black Brits have been waiting for a dark-skinned duchess to make them feel British and feel better about themselves. And white Brits needed to see a mixed-race woman marrying Harry to realise that black people are acceptable. It's patronising and it's insulting.
And asking me, do I think that all white Britons are racist? Then, to be honest, I'm going to have to answer that question with a...
Oh my God, no. Oh no.
British people get really fed up of being slated as racist. They're bombarded every day by allegations of racism.
However, I would back that up by saying I would not put it down to the individual's fault for thinking that way or being that way if for years and years and years and generation after generation, these values have been handed down to you.
And I'm aware of the trope down the years of course, monkeys and race.
It wouldn't be your fault for thinking that way if that's what you were told or that's what you've been believed to know. Yeah? Throughout education system, throughout family talking or whatever the situation be. You know what I mean? So for me now, it's a matter of acknowledging this inherited racism.
Even if you take Danny Baker's so-called apology at face value, ignorance is not a defence. There's no excuse to not know about racism. We all live in a racialised society, and I think everyone, particularly people in a public position, have a responsibility.
If this is what you've been inherently told generation after generation after generation, even in schools, even in TV and media, that's what you see on the TV screen. You know what I mean? These new media formats prop up the inherent belief that was told to you from your forefathers, you know what I'm saying?
Rhodes saw to it that he was going to be the one to emerge as the king of diamonds. And his kingdom was going to be in Africa where the English reigned supreme. This is what he wrote.
Just fancy those parts of the world that are at present inhabited by the most despicable specimens of human beings. What an alteration there would be if they were brought under Anglo-Saxon influence.
This early film, taken in Kimberley, shows that attitude of arrogance at work.
Right? But I kind of digressing now, but hopefully you get the point. So, when I hear this news article about the Asian guy, you know, getting called a P word, right? Again, to me, it doesn't surprise me. But what I do say is that for all the people who want to discredit him or claim that, oh no, he's taken out of proportion and this country isn't racist and stuff like that, I would think for you to bear in mind what I've just said in this video and look into it a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? And you know what to do. If you disagree, whether you agree or disagree, you know what to do. Leave a comment in the comment below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.